start recording. I think we have a few 1 minute left. But let me also add the Spark page to the link to the Spark page that we used on our first workshop, so that everybody can have that in case you missed it. And then we can start. All right. So there we have those two links. We have the link to the workflow that we're going to be learning today, and then also we are going to have the link to the Adobe Spark page. I'm just gonna mute everyone so that the room, so that we have no interruptions. So I'm gonna mute everyone. Michael, I'm gonna put you as a moderator. So let me just mute everyone, and I'll move Michael up to a moderator. Okay, and Michael, do you want to share your screen? Oops, I think you're muted, Michael. Let me. There you go.
Okay. So I guess I'm going to share my screen here, and hopefully everybody can see. This is my Screencast-O-Matic kind of splash page. You want to guide me a little bit, Jose, or?
Yeah, definitely. So basically, what we're going to do today is, now we covered workshop. The first workshop we covered, pre-production. We talked about storyboarding. We talked about planning ahead and preparing, and we talked about all those things. Finding a room that's quiet and taking consideration into which camera you're going to use and microphone if you decide to go with a dedicated microphone. And so today what we're going to do is we are going to walk you through the steps, or usually we call this a workflow, right? Basically, right? The steps of going from having your presentation ready, whether it's a PowerPoint slide, or if you're going to do a demonstration video or a talking head video. And then we're going to go step by step along the way, very nice and slow, so that everyone can follow along. Feel free to either watch us or to actually go ahead and do this as we're speaking. So feel free to either just observe now as we're doing it, or also you can go ahead and try to do it. We're going to hold the questions till the end. I am going to stay another hour extra for those who have questions or need extra help. So I am going to stay till the end, another hour after we're done. Another quick mention, another thing I do really want to mention, which is so important, is that the people, the wonderful faculty, the wonderful colleagues that we have at the speech and writing studio have reached out to me and said that if there's any faculty who needs help with, whether it's a preparation of your PowerPoint slides or anything speech related or presentation wise, they are willing to help you if you're interested. If you just want them to look at your slides and give you a critique, they are available. I am going to put their information in a follow-up email that I will send out today with their information, so that if you do want to set an appointment with them, feel free to do so. They're wonderful people. I know Sarah, Brian, Steve is a good friend of mine. So it's a wonderful resource that we have at FIT that usually faculty or others like myself don't realize that we can actually use them. I thought they were only for students. So feel free to use them. They're wonderful people. I love them.
Definitely, Jose. I would definitely second that. Great people to work with, and obviously when they work with us as faculty, it trickles down to our students, hopefully, right? So.
Oh yeah, Michael, I had a presentation and I didn't know until I spoke to Steve, and Steve said, "Hey, Jose, if you ever need help with your presentations, come by. I'll be happy to take a look at it and give you advice." So I highly recommend reaching out to them. And so just real quick, I want to mention a few other things. After today's workshop, for homework, we're going to assign for you to actually create a video, whether it's a introduction video that you want to do for your course, or if it is a lecture video, whatever it is that you want to, whatever that video is that you have vision, for your course, you can make that your homework. And at the end, after Michael Michael and I show the demonstration that we're going to show of the workflow, then you all can then work on your own, create your video, add your video to the Padlet, and then when we come back, for our next workshop, then we can all exhibit the videos that we created, and then we can all critique and talk about what was difficult, what did I find interesting, what did I learn, and so we'll talk about that when we come back. Patricia, you're asking a question. I think I see there. Hope this is a contentious question, but who owns what we create? Oh yeah, so that's a great question, and I know Tammy usually is the one that answers that. So real quick, I just want to tackle that question. So Michael's going to go through the workflow, and I'm going to assist Michael. But we're going to hit a point during the whole workflow where you have to decide where do you want this video to live. Whether do you want it to go into YouTube, or do you want it to go into Screencast-O-Matic? And so at that point, it's a very delicate question or decision that you have to make, because if you decide to go to YouTube, or if you decide to have your videos hosted in YouTube, then you have to make another decision. Do I host the videos under my FIT YouTube account, or can I host it in my own personal YouTube account? Therefore, giving you more power as to, these videos belong to me. I can carry them along with me if I ever decide to move from FIT or retire. Those videos will come, you will take them with you. But if you decide to host those videos under your FIT YouTube account, and you leave FIT or you retire, most likely you will lose that YouTube account. And then those videos will go along, and you'll lose those videos too. So that's a great question, Patricia. It's also black.
Places?
You can have them in different places. Yes, and we're going to
the FIT one, and so that supposing you retire and then that's gone, you at least have your own private YouTube.
Yeah.
Is that still allowable?
You can always
Michael, you're shaking what?
Yeah. So I mean, I think as far as the intellectual property goes, you are well protected in the way that you configure the way that you want to save and store your videos. And you can always make them private. Even if you do a YouTube account, you can you can move them around from either Screencast-O-Matic to your own computer to YouTube, Vimeo. There's all kinds of ways to share them, but you are the person who's in control of gatekeeping as far as other people getting access. You can even password protect them on Screencast-O-Matic. So you could send students a password. If you want them to view a video, that would the way to control it.
Yeah, that's a great way to start off our presentation, because this is going to be decisions that, as we go through this workflow that Michael and I are going to demonstrate to you all, these are some decisions that you're going to come across, and we're going to try our best, in your best interest, to kind of keep that ownership and control of your material and who gets to see it. But also, I do want to add, remember, the internet is like the wild, wild west, and so video, anything you put out there, I'm not trying to say that you're fully protected of everything, because I can easily grab my phone, and I can, like in the movie theaters, I don't know if anybody bought those cheap copies of movies, it's basically somebody with a little phone recording the movie. And there's popcorn someone munching popcorn next to you, like, oh, this is so annoying, or someone, but again, nothing is protected. So I don't want to give you a clean answer saying, well, everything is safe on the internet, but it's clearly there's some students who are much more savvier with technology. They can easily take ownership of your material, and we always want to be careful of that. As we're seeing now, more websites are popping up with students actually selling material that they from the courses that they're taking, which is a big problem. But anyway, that's a different story. Michael, so let's go ahead, Michael, if you want to go ahead and we're going to talk about, we're going to start off from the beginning, Michael, from Blackboard.
Okay, yeah, from the beginning, absolutely. And I just want to say too that I think that the idea of what we did last week, the pre-production planning, that will always go with you too, even when you're recording your video, doing your homework assignment this week, and editing it. And subsequently, every video you make, you'll be building on those, preparation skills, so that every time you go to make a new video, you'll think about maybe different ways to script it, so it'll be easier. And I'm really impressed with Screencast-O-Matic. I only started using it really about a year ago, and the capabilities are really powerful, actually. So it's got a lot of bells and whistles. You don't have to use them all. Absolutely not. I haven't really used them all. I'm just kind of exploring some of the more advanced ones. So you can still get a lot of great communications across with just the very basic stuff. And I'm glad that we have the the upgraded account, because that gives you obviously the control to edit. And like I said too, you just every time you do a video, it's going to be better than the one you did before. So don't be afraid to just get in there and do it. And they are pretty plastic too, that you can fix mistakes and you can fine tune stuff. So you shouldn't really be nervous about it, is what I'm getting at. Just get in there and do it, and you'll see that when you have the raw material, that's going to be the tool that actually helps you learn from how you want to present it then to your students. If you want to add music or add titles or add overlays to make the communication more targeted to the learning objectives that you want to kind of disseminate to your students, those things will come step by step. And like I said, you don't have to do everything in the first video, but it is exciting, and it is a very powerful program for what it is. So should I begin here?
Michael, just real quick, you just reminded me, because our last workshop, we were talking about, going back and watching yourself on video, and I had a professor from our first workshop. She reached out to me, and she was playing around, recording herself, and she was, she told me, Jose, I didn't realize I did all these little things with my face and my arms, and it was just interesting to hear her talk about, as a professor, reflecting on her movement and her voice, and to see the surprise in her voice, what she was actually doing while teaching. So for her, it was an eye opener to be able to see herself teach, which, like we said before, you're in a face-to-face class, and it's like a blur after you're done teaching. So I thought that was fun to hear that from a professor.
Yeah, you get to see yourself objectively, the way your students see you, obviously. Yeah, the way others see you. Right. It's like the first time you hear yourself, recorded on audio, you're like, is that me? And it's the same thing. Is that me? Look, Mom, I'm on TV. So, okay, so here we are on the.
Or about to start a diet the next day.
So when you set up your account, I only set up the account once, so I'm trying to remember. All I remember was very easy. Very kind of seamless, and what happens is that there's going to be a folder placed inside where you want it. I put it in my documents, and that's where your backup videos will reside on your local computer. You can go in there and do the laundry and get rid of them, because they do take up space. And you're also uploading them too, so it's like a backup. So let's say after I finish the video, I would upload it to YouTube or upload it to Screencast-O-Matic, or share it with the students in some way. But then I could go in there and say, that was a one-time video, it was a one-time project I shared with students. I'm going to go into that Screencast-O-Matic folder and get rid of those videos, put them in the trash. So the other thing is you have the capability to record screenshots. And that can be very useful too. If you click on that, you launch the recorder, and let me just see if I can get this ready here. It wants you to click and drag, so you can click and drag an area here, and it's just that easy. So that screenshot is already copied, and now you can then paste it into a document or a video or whatever. But I just wanted to show you that. I know we're not really here to kind of look at the screenshots, more the actual video. So let's go back in there, and I'm going to click on the second icon here, and this is the video recorder. So let's see what happens when that comes up. So here I am. So the record controls come up in this window here. This is the actual recorder. This little gearbox will open up the record controls for you. And then you have controls also for drawing and annotation while you're making the recording. Obviously, you can cancel and just get out of it, but we don't want to do that. So you have three options to record. You can record just your screen. So that would be if you were demonstrating, say, a piece of software, or maybe narrating through a PowerPoint. You'd want to have the full screen. You can record a webcam, which is, again, you on camera here. Remember to adjust your headroom, right? And also make sure you have decent lighting. So you have a soft light right in front of you here, and you can see the effect of me turning that light up. It's a little glary, actually, a little weird. And I also have an extension microphone, which supposedly gives me better audio quality, but tell you the truth, when I A/B them, my built-in MacBook Pro mic is very, very good. The other choice then is both. So if you choose both, then you have your screen, and you also have a small webcam window that, as you can see, I can move it around to an inconspicuous place or a conspicuous place. And you can see I made these two web recordings here. They're in the same pack. I just made them earlier today for my summer class. You can also change the size of it, I believe. Maybe not. You can also set it up if you have a green screen. If you click on this little kind of magic wand thing, you can then remove the green screen background. But I guess we'll save that for next week. I think that's a little bit more advanced. But the main thing is that you can kind of move that webcam around wherever you want it to be. And I like to actually, when I'm doing a screen recording, to have my image there too, because I think that it adds an element of engagement for the students instead of them just watching the cursor move around blindly. They get to still see me and pick up cues from my facial expressions and my gesturing, even if it's subconsciously. So I think the idea of having the webcam there all the time makes sense. So I usually use either my webcam recording or both when I'm kind of putting things together. So the time frame, if you have a basic, if you don't have just a basic account, it's 15 minutes, which I think is plenty long. I think we talked about this last week too. You're better off making 3 short videos than 1 long video. So you can see that with the new FIT licensed version, I have no limit. So I could make my epic 4-part journey, 4-hour movie, whatever. But certainly you probably don't want to do that, but you can actually set a time custom here too. Then you can create sizes. So the sizes are presets. There are presets for 480p, 720p, and full screen. I usually go full screen. I like the idea that students may be watching this on their mobile device, but I think the full quality is probably going to be the best that you can do. Then you have narration, and you can notice that as I'm speaking, I get confirmation visually from this volume unit meter here that I am actually talking. So if you click on this too, you can see other microphones that might be available on your system. Typically, this is my built-in microphone. So let me see here. I have a Samsung microphone. See if you can see the difference when I switch to that microphone. See what happens here if I switch to that. Any noticeable difference?
Definitely, yeah. I can hear more of the ambient.
The ambient. So that might not be good, right? The ambient noise might not be what you want, right? Because that might be a distraction. Actually,
but I heard a more full-bodied sound though.
Yeah, the sound is
Yeah.
probably better because one mic is, built in. It's somewhere hidden in the screen somewhere, and the other one is kind of meant for, actually doing podcasting and audio recording, and has settings on it. If you buy an extension mic, you can usually adjust those settings so you'll hear more of the direct sound and less of the ambience. And with an extension microphone here, I'm just going to show you what I have here. It's the Samson mic. You can also work the mic. You'll notice as I get close to the mic here, this is called the proximity effect, where you really accentuate the bass in your voice, and you get a certain, connection, a certain intimacy. So I don't think you can do that so well with your screen mic to get really close like that. And you can, obviously get better sound with your extension mic. And I can also even adjust the pickup pattern so I can get more or less ambience. So let me just put it back in its position over here. And then you can do computer audio too. So again, if you have a lot of bells and clicks in the software you're demonstrating, you can actually have those filter into the recording you're making too. I usually would leave that off. And then there's the preferences, and there's some preferences here. There are some hotkeys that you can program to do different things. I find they don't work too well for me, but you can do things like supposedly switch back and forth between your webcam and your full screen recording with like a video switcher kind of thing. The countdown is when you start the recording, you're going to see 3, 2, 1, and then you go. So you can just kind of have a little bit of a prompt, to kind of get you ready when you're on deck. Where the control bar is, so that's the recording thing that I showed you. I have it on top now. I'll change it to on bottom so you can see it there later. Webcam preview. I want to see myself when I'm recording, but some people may not want to. Maybe you're, a little distracted by your own image, so you can actually turn that off while you're recording. And the other ones are pretty much straightforward, I think. So the drawer and zoom controls also you can adjust with hotkeys. So that's the preferences. Like I said, I'm not that enamored with them, but it does work. Okay, so we're ready to go. And what I want to do when I'm ready to go, I guess, is I'm going to go back to full webcam, and I'm going to think about my composition. So obviously I want to frame myself nicely, and I want to make sure that I've got the proper headroom in there. I don't want to be cutting off my head, so get a nice frame. Put your eyes around the upper third of the screen. Position your mic so it's right in front of you. I also have my soft light here, kind of like right in front of me. So it looks like I'm ready to go, right? I've got everything probably positioned the way I want. Remember, the distance also is going to be something. You'll notice as I get too close, the focus will suffer a little bit with this, built-in webcam camera on the MacBook Pro. You don't want to get too close. When you get too close with a webcam, you get visual distortion, and you start to look kind of like, a little bit wider. So probably a little bit further away is better. I would say about 4 feet, something like that, looks like about the right distance, 3 or 4 feet. Okay, so now that we're ready to go, I'll make a short recording and show you how that works. We'll try it with the webcam first. So I'm going to click on the record button, and the first thing you'll see is the countdown, and now we're in. So hello everybody, and welcome to our Screencast-O-Matic demo today. My illustrious co-host Jose Diaz and I are here to make sure that you guys understand the power of using video to communicate with your students, and Screencast-O-Matic is a great tool to do that. Okay, so I'm going to hit pause, and what you can see now is that I've recorded 21 seconds of video here. So now I have some options that I can do here. One of them is to actually play it back and see how I did. So let's try that. We're in. So hello everybody, and welcome to our Screencast-O-Matic demo today. My illustrious co-host Jose Diaz and I are here to make sure that you guys understand the power of using. So you get the idea with that, right? So what are the other options? You can trash it, and there's two ways. If I click on this, I can either start all over again or just trash the whole thing. And then when I click on done, I'm going to save that actually to demo it for you. But that will be the next step as far as whether I want to upload the video or edit the video. So another interesting thing that happens here is that when I pause it during playback, I get this truncate capability. So this is actually a great way to do what you might call an on-the-fly edit. So let's find a point in the piece here where I'm going to pick up the action. My illustrious co-host Jose Diaz and I are here to make sure that you guys understand the power of using video to communicate with your students, and Screencast-O-Matic is a great tool to do that. So let's say I made a mistake somewhere. Understand the power of using video to communicate with your students, and Screencast. I'm trying to find a good spot. I talk kind of fast, so it's Screencast-O-Matic Demo today. My illustrious co-host Jose Diaz and I. So I'm going to try to stop it there. So what happens then is, I mean, this might not be the most fine-tuned edit, but the idea is that now if I click on this, it will erase everything that's after this point in the gray area. And it'll allow me to pick up the recording right after this end of the blue area. So let's try that. I'm going to click truncate, and it will then shorten the recording. See, now I only have 8 seconds, and I'm in again. Hi. So Jose, thanks for joining us today, and I'm going to be taking questions after the workshop, and hopefully it'll be a great learning experience for everybody. So now, with that, you'll notice here is where I made the edit too. Every time I do this, whether I truncate it or just use pause, I'll see this little red line. So I might have 3 or 4 of these lines. And then I can use these keys here to fast forward and kind of navigate. So here I am at the beginning. Here I am at the first edit, right? And if I make more edits, I can go further like that and can kind of change them. Let's play back that edit I made. My illustrious co-host Jose Diaz and I in again. Hi. So Jose, thanks for joining us. See, and you can kind of get that kind of poppy, jump cutty, YouTube-y effect that your students probably are enamored with. So, but the idea is that if you wanted to, you could use that truncate feature where you might want to just record a few lines and then stop and look at your script again and then record a few more, until you get yourself, flowing like that. You can obviously, anytime you make a mistake too, that might be a great time to actually stop. Okay, so that would be like a way to kind of edit it on the fly like that. The next thing that you want to do then is, actually, I'm not going to delete it. I'll take a look at done. So now it asks you what you want to do with the piece that you just recorded. So you can save or upload it, and it gives you some options here. So I can save it as a video file. So what that does is it allows you to save it as a MP4 or a couple of other file formats. I like MP4 because it's just pretty well compatible and good for the internet. And what it does then is it will make the video a MP4 file on your computer, and then you can do whatever you want with it. You can upload it to YouTube on your own, or you can send it to someone in another way as an email or whatever. So saving it as a video file basically has Screencast-O-Matic compress the file so that it's no longer proprietary kind of Screencast-O-Matic file. Now it's a video file that is totally compatible with other software. You can put it into PowerPoint or edit it in iMovie or whatever. So that's a great tool. Then you have upload to Screencast-O-Matic and upload to YouTube when you connect your YouTube account. You can also add up here other accounts. So you might want to upload it to your Vimeo account. You can share it on your Google Drive, and that's a great way. Actually, you can upload it to your Google Drive and then share it from there. So you can send a link to your students or to other faculty members, upload to Dropbox, So there are other options here to actually get your video up there. I can redo the whole thing, I can delete it, and I can also edit it. And I think next week we're really going to be taking a look at the editing part of it, but like I said, Screencast-O-Matic gives you a lot of great tools to edit. Let me show you just a quick one here that you can do right in this window. So when you're looking at the playback, we're in. So hello everybody and welcome to our Screencast-O-Matic demo today. So you'll notice I said we're in, right? So this part right here, if you look at this is the audio that I'm speaking. So as I speak, these peaks go up and down, and you know, after a while, you can tell that this is silence. You can kind of almost tell, you know, what you're saying. So the idea is that if I go back to the beginning, you can see that right at the very beginning, we're in. So I don't want that we're in. So I can use this tool right here to just get rid of that opening pad. I'm just clicking and dragging to get rid of that. So now you're not going to hear me say we're in anymore, and it's going to jump right to. So hello everybody and welcome to our Screencast-O-Matic demo today. Now with a really fine-tuned video editor, I'd be able to cut that so out. I don't know how accomplished Screencast-O-Matic is, but it's pretty good. And you can use this number. You know, you're getting minutes, seconds, and hundredths of a frame here to also assist you in finding the spot you want to edit. And again, at the end, I can do the same thing. Experience for everybody. So let's find a spot to cut out. Experience after the workshop, and hopefully taking questions after the workshop. So let's end it there. And I just got to slide this guy in, and now I've cut the end pad out so that it'll actually end at that point. We you know, taking questions after the workshop. Too bad I can't cut all those uhs out, right? I can add music. I would caution about that, you know, because music might, you know, also interfere with your recording and the communication there. You got to be really pretty deft at, you know, leveling it out. Maybe you want to use it just in the beginning and the end. That can also work, and we'll show you that next week in the edit. And then you can also add closed captions, and I actually experimented with this recently. It worked actually pretty good. So if you click on this, you can upload a captions file, but it also has a speech recognition parameter. So I'm going to see how it goes with a pretty short one here. It should work pretty quickly. And as it ingests what I'm saying, I can also, if I see that there's mistakes here, I can edit this. I can actually, you know, overtype anything. So sometimes it makes funny errors, sometimes it makes really weird errors, so you got to be careful. You do want to definitely proof this and make sure that it looks good. But actually, it looks pretty good, right? So I'm actually going to just say OK and see if that will work. No. There we go. So now, there we go. We've got our captions right there. And let's see how it plays now with the edits that I made and the captions. So hello everybody and welcome to our Screencast-O-Matic demo today. My illustrious co-host Jose Diaz and I in again. Hi. So Jose, thanks for joining us today. And it's a little choppy actually. Maybe because I edited it, it had a little confusion in actually synchronizing the captions, but it does work pretty good. And I don't think you'll be you know, making such, you know, kind of short edits like that when you do yours. So that is the real kind of basics there, getting in and making the recording. Should I actually go through uploading one?
Michael, just since you're already here in this part, if you can show, now that you showed, you know, how to clip or splice a little piece of that, if you would just show them real quick, if you go ahead and click edit for one moment, I just want to, yeah, if you go back in there and click edit, and you see the beginning part that you were talking about in the beginning that you wanted to remove, if you were to, if you were to bring, there, and then use the tools button at the top, right there, and then you click tools.
Right. I'm gonna put my. Let me just say a few terminology things here. So you have what's called a playhead, and the playhead is this. Hello everybody, and welcome to our screencast. line that actually moves around, and it tells you exactly where you are in the video. It also allows you to drag, so you can drag to different points. It doesn't let you skim the audio, so some programs will you actually hear the person speaking. That might be easier too when you're trying to find an exact point. But I think what Jose is getting at now, I want to click on Tools, and then I want to cut this with this tool. So there's different ways to do the same thing. So I can use this cut tool here, and you'll notice that it turns red now, and I kind of know that I want to cut out, say, up to that point, and this is where I started to talk again. So you'll notice that it's going to cut out from here to here, and this red kind of area here is 1.12 seconds long, and I can either cancel it now, or I can say OK, and that will cut that out. See, now that is gone. So I've made that edit. And hello, everybody, and welcome to our Screencast-O-Matic demos.
And also, Michael, if you can show them how you can preview it before clicking the OK.
Michael,
okay, so here is actually the magic.
Michael, can I just ask one question?
Please.
When you have the the subtitles on there, it still included that section that you have just cut. Wherein, so hello.
What happened with that?
So you have to just do that separately afterwards.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened with that. I may be because I was kind of doing a few things at once. I may have just screwed something up.
Yeah, but Patricia, I think that now that he's going to cut it this way, I think if we play it back after Michael makes this cut, then those captions are going to be removed. Once Michael does it this way, that way he's cutting it now.
Usually, once you're doing the cutting in this, what do you call it? the
timeline.
As it goes. Timeline. Okay. Then it does automatically cut the.
I think that's what's going to happen now when Michael does this cut right now in the beginning. I think once we play it back, I think the captions in the beginning will also be synced and removed from the clip that he removed.
So I mean, obviously this stuff is happening in the background, and it's happening over the internet. So that's why sometimes it may not happen immediately or whatever. It may take time to kind of render some of these changes. Because this is not happening on my machine. This is happening through Screencast-O-Matic. The other thing I just want to point out here is you have the magic undo too. So again, don't be afraid to try and experiment with things, because if you don't like it, you can always undo and redo. And you'll see I undid actually that opening, so we have that opening again. We're in. So hello. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. Jose, you want me to cut that?
Yeah,
again?
if you could do it one more time and showing them the preview before committing.
Right. Okay, so we're going to grab this guy here, and then you have a preview of the edit here. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our. So you can see it actually cut it out. So let's make that edit, and I'll show you one more here, where over here I'm saying I don't know what to say, right? So I'm going to cut this out. I don't only have to cut out the beginning. I can actually have what an editor would call an in time and an out time. In other words, I'm going to cut from the in time to the out time. So let's listen to the video. Welcome to our Screencast-O-Matic demo today. My illustrious co-host. Okay, so you can see I'm floundering here, right? So I'm going to cut again, and I want to come back with my illustrious. My illustrious co-host. My illustrious. So I see where that is, right? Visually, I kind of see where it is now. And what I'm going to do is see if I can get it to work. Make it the start here. It may not be that.
Yeah, you got to put
not that forgiving.
Yeah, you got to drag it from where you want to. You got to put the little line.
It won't let me drag it all over the place, which may be a good thing. So let's try it from where I start floundering. Today. So there's today. So I'm going to move the playhead right there, and then set up the cut, and then bring the cut right up to where I think I'm saying my illustrious host Jose Diaz. Okay, so now I'm cutting out from here to here, and it's in the middle of the video. Yeah, maybe I should have previewed it, but now let's see the result of that. The demo today, my illustrious co-host Jose Diaz and I. So you can see how that worked, right? I lost all that and it makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about.
That was beautiful. No jump cuts. It looked so like it never happened.
Yeah. And I mean, if you really want to finesse it too, you can actually put in a little dissolve there, so it looks even more seamless. You know, instead of it being like, you know, a jump cut, you know, to make it like kind of quick dissolve from one thing to the other, or put another picture there that will hide it. Anyway,
Right.
that's more advanced stuff. So let's hear some more questions. Yeah, Jose.
Oh, just real quick, one quick thing. I just want everybody to know that since Michael did the captions before the edits, you got to remember that the captions are the reflection of the video before the edits were made. And so that's why you're getting those words that are showing but were then removed. So when you're going to do the captions, make sure you do the captions after the edits are done, because then what's going to happen is you're going to keep these words that were removed. And so now, since Michael did the caption before the edits, Michael, the only way to fix that problem is then to do the captions and overwrite those captions that you originally did.
Right.
Won't
That make
those
sense?
captions help? Won't those captions even help you as you're going along? If you can, then again at the end say, okay, I'm gonna redo the captions. Can you?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, exactly.
Does it make sense? I'm so new to this. I'm sorry.
You can turn the captions on and off too. I noticed here, if I deselect that, you know, now you're not seeing them anymore. But I think the best practice that Jose mentioned is the way to go, because you want the final captions obviously to reflect your final edit. And I mean, I guess they could help you along, but another way to probably help yourself along is that you have a script and storyboard by your side as you're editing. So that this way, in other words, as you're, you know, after you make your recording, then you confirm the edit based on, you know, your pre-production plan of your script. And as you're editing, you're kind of checking off, saying, oh yeah, I did that, I did that, I did that, and then add the closed captions at the end of the total process. This way, that'll.
But if you have done it in the beginning, though, you can redo the captions again at the end.
Correct. Yeah. So if Michael, if you click done here, and actually if you click on captions first, so we can see them, and then if you click done, right, click on English for a second there.
Oh, that's what it is.
And then right, and then you do done, and then if you go back into edit, I think it will give you the option to do the captions. If you click on them again, Michael, sorry, if you go click on captions and then you add new captions, and then you see add new captions. And then now that he made that edit, if he does these captions over again, it will reflect the new cut or the final cut that he just did, where he removed the intro. So if you hit start, right? So if you hit start now, you'll notice that it's going to
redoing the whole thing. Right.
Exactly.
The whole thing.
There you go. You see that? You see now it says hello everybody, exactly where you started. And
right.
so if you click OK, right. So that's how you will fix that.
Yeah, so that actually works good, and it goes back to, you know, what you were asking, that you can use those captions as your own tool, you know, in, you know, helping yourself know where you are and what you're editing, and then you can just redo them when you're, you know, done with your edits.
Exactly.
Or have Screencast-O-Matic redo them for you.
Exactly. So and it's
pretty
pretty quick. Yeah. Any questions?
It seems much more kind of facile than YouTube. You know, I've done captions in YouTube before, and they're a little more cumbersome.
Right.
So.
Does anybody have any questions before we move on to the next part?
Here's another little thing I noticed too. You can.
Jose, just so you know, this is all. I'm a little bit lost. It's a little fast for me. You are speaking a completely new language. You know, we're not videographers. I'm sorry. I'm a little lost.
Okay.
No worries.
Yeah, I couldn't even sign up for Screencast-O-Matic. I couldn't. It wouldn't accept my password.
Yeah.
No worry. Yeah, because I'm gonna sit down with you,
All right.
Amanda. I'm gonna help you to catch up. So no worries about that.
I want to hold everyone back, but it's just a little fast for me.
I would say that
it's a little fast for me too. But what I'm thinking is, right after this, you're going to have this copied, and you're going to send that to us directly, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. This is all being.
I'm going to look at it all afternoon, and then if I don't understand some things, you have a repeat of it tomorrow morning. Right? Am I correct?
Of course. Of course,
11.
this
So then I can ask them more, because at the moment, I don't know what questions to ask because I don't know what I don't know.
exactly.
Yes,
No, no.
exactly.
Same
So
thing
just to let
here.
everybody know.
Yes.
So just to let everybody know, the video is being recorded. It will be available. Not only that, but we also have a tutorial with step-by-step instructions, exactly what just Michael did, and with screenshots of for every step along the way. So if you're not a video person and you prefer the written material, that you can print it out and hold it in your own hands and look at it. I also have that. And then you also got Michael and myself who are happy to answer any question. And then I will also work one-on-one with Alexandra and Patricia,
Thank you.
whoever needs one-on-one
Thank
support.
you.
So it's not like we're just leaving you left in, to
I started editing in college, and I started with film editing, which
I mean, last year, huh?
50 years ago, 40 years ago. So I don't think we expect you guys to really watch what we do here and say, oh, now I'm going to do all that. I think it's more of a, well, now I see what Screencast-O-Matic is capable of, and then the idea of actually getting in there and starting to do this with training wheels and building up so that you can do your first video real basic and then say, now I want to try making an edit, or now I want to try adding a title, and it'll come. I think it's more of just showing you guys the capabilities, and we really don't expect you to kind of follow along and come out of the session getting a job with Martin Scorsese or something like that, right? It's not going to happen. But it is a process, and it's something that you need to practice. You need to do it. If you don't do it, you're never going to be able to get. But as you do it, you'll find that you get, just like anything. The first time you try it, it's daunting. But as you start to do it, it'll become easier and easier.
Right. I was about to say, once you start using it, well, just to reiterate what you just said, once you start using it, it really makes what you're saying, it makes more sense. It's more intuitive as you go through the process.
Right.
Yeah, I experimented a lot. I had a lot of failures, and I just really encourage you to just really be brave and don't be afraid to try it.
Thank you, Warren. I think the best way to learn too is from those failures too, because a lot of times when you're kind of troubleshooting and saying, gee, that didn't work the way I wanted to, that's where you're going to uncover other things and say, wow, now I really know how to do it even better than I thought. So it's like anything, the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. Any other comments or questions?
Well, this is maybe a stupid one, but Jose, you gave me help with getting the Screen-O-Matic, and now that's on my computer. So in other words, I'm not going to any of the links in Blackboard. I'm just going to my computer and creating it on Screencast-O-Matic, and then be able to transfer it to wherever I want it. Yes?
That's an excellent question. I'm glad, Patricia, you were paying attention. because yeah, that's a great point, because there's two ways to approach your workflow. And so I just want to show you that the same thing that Michael did today, where he just went directly to Screencast-O-Matic, I just want to show you that that can also be done directly in Blackboard. So let me just share my screen real quick, just to show you how you can do it through Blackboard. And basically exactly the same steps that Michael did, other than that I'm going to Blackboard first. As you can see my screen. Can everyone see my screen, by the way?
Yes, you're there, Jose.
Perfect. Thank you, Michael. So Patricia, what Patricia's asking is, okay, well, can I work on Screencast-O-Matic while I'm in my course, right? Let's say like Michael made a great example our first workshop on that he likes to use Screencast-O-Matic to give feedback directly to students' work, right? And so let's say you want to use Screencast-O-Matic in that way, and so you're going into your assignment folder, right? Let's say you're going into needs grading. And you go to needs grading, and then you got students' work here, and you're looking at the students' work, which I don't have any now, which is would have been great to have an example here, but let's say that you wanted to record students, a feedback for a student, or just a video presentation for your students. So what you can do is simply go to build content right here at the top left corner, and Screencast-O-Matic is right there for you.
Okay,
So,
I was looking over at the plus sign on the navigation menu up there, and I'm going, and it wasn't under
Up
web
here?
things.
Oh,
At
no,
the
no.
plus sign under the left navigation menu.
Oh.
And when you go down to web link, it's not on the Screencast-O-Matic is not there. Am I correct?
Yes,
or
correct. Right. So, no, that's a great point. So Screencast-O-Matic will be, you can find Screencast-O-Matic under Build Content, and then you go to Screencast-O-Matic right here at the bottom, and then you click on Screencast-O-Matic, and then it's asking you to give it a title or a name to the video that you're about to create. So let's say I wanted to do my introduction video to the class, right? So let's say I want to introduce myself to my class. So I'll give it a title, introduction. And everything else in Blackboard, you can just give it a description and other things. You can go in there and schedule the release or whatever. But I'm just going to skip all that for now. I'm just going to go ahead and click submit. And if you go all the way down to the bottom, you'll see that there's my video there, and it's like a blue Target logo, and then the title of the video is right there. And so I'm just going to click on the title of the video, in this case, introduction. And notice this will take me exactly where Michael was earlier. Remember where he started off?
Yeah.
And remember what Michael, you started off from this, well, when you rewind the video, you'll see, when you go back and you rewatch this video, you'll notice that this is where Michael started his demonstration of Screencast-O-Matic. And then after that, Michael went over here and he clicked on Launch Recorder. And when he clicked on Launch Recorder, always allow Screencast-O-Matic to open, of course. And then this opened up for Michael. Takes a while, it's launching. Takes a few seconds, and there he goes. Remember when Michael showed us this?
Yes.
And Michael was talking about the 3 options, the screen, the webcam, or picture-in-picture, and then he went through the settings. So you can always start from Blackboard. If there's something that you want to add to your course, whether it's an introduction video, whether it's a lecture video, a student critique, or an announcement, that you want to make it into a video, you can do that from Blackboard. Now, another thing too that you can do from here is that you have the library of all the videos that you've created at your fingertips. See, I made a couple of videos here, and if I'm not looking to create a new video, and I just want to link it to a pre-made video that I already have created, I can do that too by going to the video, click on the video that you want. You can change the size of the video, and you can change whether, show the controls, show captions. You want it to autoplay, which might be annoying. I take it off. I don't do autoplay. And then you embed the video.
Can you make a copy and change it? And is this the copy? Can you alter certain things? Can you edit certain things in it?
Oh yeah. So let's say this video now is outdated, and I don't want this video in my course. I can just click change the content, and then I can go back here and choose another video. Or if you actually want to edit that same video, let's say you want to go and change it.
Yeah.
You can have, there's your editor. You'll take you back into the editor. So if I choose this video, and I click edit, back to editor. Now I can edit that video, this is the video that I was working on, and it takes me back into the editor. And that takes
Michael had his hand up, so I don't want to be a hog and ask all the questions. Michael,
is this where you can put the captions to a previously recorded lecture?
Correct. That's a great That's a great question. So if you haven't been captioning your videos and you just you've been using Screencast-O-Matic just to record and you forgot to add the captions, then you
But
can go to.
I wasn't using Screencast-O-Matic. I was using my Google Drive camera.
Oh yes, so that's a great point. So up here, Michael. Wait, I'm sorry, I'm saying your name right, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So Michael, since you recorded all your videos, you can import them by clicking import, and then you can bring in all those videos. That's why in our first workshop you mentioned that you had recorded all these videos and you were worried because they didn't have captions and they were in your Google Drive.
Right.
So now what you can do, Michael, is you can download all those videos that are in your Google Drive, bring them down to your computer, and import them into Screencast-O-Matic by clicking import. And once you have all your videos in Screencast-O-Matic, you're going to see them all here. Then you'll click on the video, you'll click on edit, and then you'll go to captions and add the captions for your videos right there.
I think for when I am about to do that, or when I need to start doing that, I'm going to have a one-on-one with you. But
Definitely. Yeah, I'll be happy to help you with that. Yeah,
okay.
That's not going to, yeah. But
Okay,
that's a great.
I'm more at ease now.
Yeah, you're in
Okay.
a good place, Michael, because the video's already recorded. All you're really going to do is just import them into Screencast-O-Matic, add the caption, and then put them in your Blackboard course.
Nice.
Perfect.
The other nice thing about that and the power of that is that you can edit a video out of all of the videos. In other words, if I have 100 videos, including ones that I just uploaded from other places, I can take pieces of those videos while I'm editing in Screencast-O-Matic and make a kind of compilation reel. So all those videos are part of your assets when you're creating a new video, which is great.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point, Michael. I mean, again, think of them as assets because then you can just, like Michael said, make compilations or do a reel. One quick thing I do want to add to this conversation because I know we have faculty here who do demonstration videos and they do the recordings with their phones. And I think Michael, the other Michael, actually did that. So if you want to talk a little bit about if you're using your phone to record, let's say, a demonstration video like sewing or stitching, and you're doing recordings that way, you can always bring in those videos with the import, right? So if you have these videos recorded with your phone, Michael, you can go ahead and explain better. I'm probably mumbling it up.
Well, I would say, especially if you're doing any type of product demonstration, the idea of using your phone is the way to go. Or if you have a DSLR, or because obviously your webcam, the capability and the resolution of your webcam is not the greatest. So when you have your phone, if you go to your camera settings, you can bring it up to 4K, even 8K, and then you can just get a much cleaner image, obviously, that you want to show students the intricacies of a design or a product or something like that. So by all means, I would say if you're doing that type of video by using your phone and then just bringing it into Screencast-O-Matic, and then what you might want to do is record a webcam opening of yourself talking about the demonstration and then edit the two of them together. So it's definitely possible to do it like that. You could do it as a picture-in-picture too, where you have both on the screen at the same time. That will work. Mm-hmm. So again, the possibilities are almost endless. Not to make it again seem like it's daunting for you, but the idea, I think, is to, as you start working, you say to yourselves, well, gee, wouldn't it be great if I could do it this way for my students, and then see if you can manipulate the software to actually do what you want to do, or at least get close to it. And usually there are all kinds of workarounds to make it work. So yeah, I would definitely say use your phone. I would say, I'm just too lazy. It's probably better to use your phone all the time because you're just going to get a better quality recording. The webcam is just so easy to use, and I have to set up a little tripod and worry about space on my phone, and obviously those video files are bigger because they're better resolution. But if you were demonstrating a product, and a lot of people use this, I found out, I was watching some things last night, a lot of marketers are using Screencast-O-Matic to do things for their websites and marketing type videos. And obviously, they want the quality to be really good when you're putting up a brand image or something like that. So,
and just to break. I'm sorry, Michael. Just wanted to break down a little bit what you just said, because some people might not understand that 4K or 8K. Basically, what Michael was saying is, the cell phone, in most cases, might be a better way to record because of the higher resolution, better quality of the image and the video than it might be to record with your webcam on your computer. And not only that, Michael makes a great point, because it gives you versatility, as you can bring your phone to move it around and get those angles that otherwise a webcam connected to a computer or a laptop, you wouldn't be able to kind of move your laptop and put it in those angles that you would prefer, where a phone might be easier for you to get that angle or put it on a tripod. Did I explain that?
Absolutely.
I think.
So you can have much more versatility with your camera.
Jose, can you just clarify what is a webcam? I'm so completely lost here. What's a webcam? What is it?
So Alexandra, we're looking at you through your webcam. The webcam is
that the camera part of your computer?
Yes.
Okay.
Typically, that's what we mean by a webcam. So that's the one that's built into your screen. And although it's wonderful, the capabilities and the the quality of it are not as good as a standalone camera would be. Okay. Certainly convenient.
All right. Thank you.
Right. So that's another part that maybe we can touch on a little bit, Michael, is and we talked a little bit about in the first workshop, are the different devices that you can use to record. And we talked about the cell phone being one of them, the webcam that's connected or that comes with your laptop or your the computer that you're using at home. And then also Michael mentioned an actual camera that they're not that they've almost gone out of business, like this little point and shoot cameras, because of how powerful the cell phones, smartphones have become, where there used to be a big market for I remember, I used to have a little point and shoot camera that you can do photo and video, but most of those are gone unless you're getting like a big fancy big camera, and so the likely options, the most possible options that you'll be using to record will probably be, from your phone or from a laptop, and that's really what we're referring to as a webcam that's connected to your laptop.
Now, Nobuko has a question. Is there a question there?
Okay, can I use a photo booth too?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. Photo Booth is a built-in software that's on the Mac.
Photo Booth, and then
sure,
I can do
use
that.
Photo Booth, and then import those videos into Screencast-O-Matic, and it'll be absolutely fine. The quality is going to be probably similar. You can also use Quicktime, which is built into your Mac. They're all very similar.
Yeah, I think this is a good opportunity, Michael, for us to talk about if video is the way that you're going with, and you really want to put videos into your course, you also you have to think about, and we talked a little bit about this also, and I remember the first workshop we talked about how is it going to be a video that you want to use for, let's say, in the language course, where you're going to have discussions back and forth with students. In that case, Screencast-O-Matic might not be the best tool for that, because remember, it's a video that's going one direction. You're speaking, students are listening. They're not getting an opportunity to talk back to you because they're just watching. It's like a passive experience. But if for Naboko, like you, I know you're teaching Japanese, modern language, you're teaching a language course where you actually want to hear your students as a discussion, VoiceThread might be a better tool. So but basically what I'm trying to say here is that Screencast-O-Matic is not all solution, it's not going to cover all these different types of solutions. Screencast-O-Matic is great.
Okay, I just want to make an invitation. I just want to make an invitation video only.
Oh yeah. So for something like that, Screencast-O-Matic would work really well, because it's just you speaking to your class, and you're not expecting them to, respond to you by voice is not that important for you. But if it was important that you wanted to get feedback and hear the students' voices, VoiceThread would be a better solution for that. So I just basically the reason why I brought it up is because I want you all to be open-minded and think about what is the purpose of video in your course. And then if you have a question, say, well, Jose, I don't know which tool is going to give me, I don't know which tool is going to allow me to talk back to my students and allow students to talk back to me, a back and forth conversation. And I would say, well, VoiceThread sounds a better tool for you than Screencast-O-Matic.
Jose, that was going to be my question about which is, I have an introduction on VoiceThread, and then the students can at least answer that one. However, on VoiceThread, you cannot edit it. So once you have done that, that's it. So and this may be a silly question, but can you insert the Screen-O-Matic into the VoiceThread?
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, let me just back up because you made a super excellent point. I mean, this is so important for us to understand what Patricia just said right here, because with selecting the tool that you're going to use for whatever that purpose is in your course for that video, you have to understand that each tool has a limitation. And so if VoiceThread is the tool that you decided to go with, you have to understand the limitation with VoiceThread is that you don't have the capabilities that Michael just showed you of editing and going back. It's not forgiving in that way. VoiceThread is going to be one shot. You've got to get it right. If you mess up, start over again. And it's unforgiving. And so that's an excellent point that you just made. And we'll be happy to sit down with you and say, well, this tool is probably better for you, or maybe Screencast-O-Matic is better for that. And then your second question was, can
you insert a Screen-O-Matic section into VoiceThread?
Oh, yes. And the answer is yes, because with VoiceThread, you can download. VoiceThread allows you to download the video, just as Michael just showed us how he saved the video as an MP4 file. VoiceThread also allows you to save that video to locally to your computer. Once you have that VoiceThread video saved on your computer, then you will take that video from VoiceThread, go into Screencast-O-Matic, and remember the import button that I showed you all?
Yeah.
That's how you would bring in that VoiceThread video into Screencast-O-Matic, which then will allow you to edit those, make those edits from Screencast-O-Matic.
So you can go both ways. I was thinking of the analogy of a golfer. So like I don't play golf, but I know like when a golfer looks, they figure out which club they're going to use for the different shots. So you kind of have to think to yourself, what do I want to get across in the finished video? And what's going to be there, and then think which tool is going to work better for you. And a lot of times, as Jose brought out, you could use these tools in combination, like a suite, where you might use one and then upload to another. Use one to do one task and then use another one to do another task. And I think the exponential increase of power in communication, when they work together like that. So it's good.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that nobody feels overwhelmed. I know we covered a lot today, and Michael has shown us this workflow, and there's a lot of steps along the way. But I just don't want you to feel overwhelmed and scared. Again, we're going to be here to help you all. And again, like we said, it's going to be practice, and trial and error, and you're going to learn. I mean, I learned video editing on my own because I needed extra cash, and I fell in love with video from my college years. I needed to get extra money, so I started doing weddings. I said, hey, I can get extra money. I'll film some weddings. And it's a lot of work, but I found it was fun and I enjoyed it. And from there, I started doing video. But trust me, it will take time. But don't feel like you're alone in this. And this is why Michael and I created this step-by-step instruction that we have the link on the chat. You can click on that link, and hopefully by our next workshop. You will create a video that we can all, when we come back the third workshop, we can all look and talk about our experience making the video. We'll kind of keep it open to like almost like an exhibition of videos, like a film festival. We'll do a little film festival. It'll be fun because we can all look at share the experience that we went through as we were making the video. It might be funny, or I might have come back and I'm bald. I lost all my hair from pulling it from the stress.
Screencast-O-Matic stress.
Screencast. I need more Screencast-O-Matic stress.
It's a process, though. It's a process, and it's an evolving process. It's something that you just have to keep doing, and don't be afraid to get started.
Right.
You have another
I think
question?
Boku has a question for you. Yeah.
I tried to record with a Cast-O-Matic, and then it says I need a permission. And then I use a Mac, so I follow the preference and all this. And then the Cast-O-Matic is not, the icon is not there. So what should I do?
Okay, so Naboku, I can sit down with you again. I am going to stay. So we're at the.
So I can see you on Thursday.
Oh yeah, and you and I are meeting on Thursday, but I'm going to stay. I'm gonna stay behind for another hour, and we're gonna Michael and I answer some questions. So Michael has to leave, I guess.
I think I have to go though, Jose. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, Michael, thank you so much again. You're amazing.
Yes,
thank you
You're
very
another
much,
stellar
Michael.
performance.
It's always a pleasure.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
I wish you could have serve your wonderful food after the presentation. Isn't that nice? Michael is very good with food.